Welcome everybody to my first video. I hope you'd enjoy this little walk back in time. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about what I started finding 3 years ago. I was digging in my front yard, making new stairs, and this is not it. That'll be in another video, but that was the beginning of finding some cool stuff. This is from the backyard, and this is the biggest cache I've found yet out of anything. These here were little tools they must have used to either work with in the garden, planting seeds. Sometimes they would poke holes with it. I had a lot of these. This was worked here. I don't know if that was going to be a drill. This was sanded down to a point. It was making clay markings. This here is a little harder, but it looks more like it was used to crack things, be a mortar. The front is a little bit marked up. This here, I'm pretty sure must have been used to scrape hides. It fits perfectly right in your hand, and you can scrape away with it, but you can see the ridge line on both sides. Pretty cool. This here, I'm not sure what they were making with it. Maybe a scraper. This again is in the scraper family. See how it's been sanded down. This is all out of limestone, so they were shaping this to fit in their hand, just so. And whether they were shaping their arrows, or I'm not sure. Again, this one was shaped to kind of fit right in your hand and scrape with. It's got a sharpened end, and they were really pecking away at this stuff because it's so hard to work. This here was like a club head that they were using. There's a little bit of a sharp point here and a sharp point at this end. What they would be using that for, and all these little pointy things, almost like they were trying to either make tools to do designs in their clay. They all kind of resemble different animals too. Like it's like a tooth, but I mean, this could just have fallen off, but most of these have been sanded. I mean, here's an example. This is a different kind of stone, and it looks kind of like a bird, but it's sharp like a knife too. So if you look at this end, it's been sharpened to scrape, or you maybe put onto an end of a stick to be a knife. This one was weird. I found this one. It's like, what could this have been? I mean, it's sharpened, it's been sanded and shaped, has a lot of interesting features, but I was thinking maybe it was some kind of a knife. Maybe it was hafted. I'm not sure. Anybody with any ideas, please fill me in on some of this. I have this one, kind of looks like a knife blade too, like it was sharpened down the middle. Here's some choppers that I found. See, they made these little choppers, and then they notched it here and here to haft it. This is like another little wedged hand chopper. This here would have been like a war club, I think. And you could see how they worked it in the middle. They kind of chipped at it and then sanded it down. And then put an edge on it there. And then this would have been a hefty weight to give it more oomph. This is another chopper here with like a hammerhead on the back. Another chopper with a wedge. And this is a different kind. This is out of quartzite, and this is a chopper as well. An axe head or a hoe head. It's really hot today. It's August 8th, and we are really hot. Here's some, this is like a pecking tool, and I'll have to switch hands, but you can see it fits right in your hand. So you can peck, tap away at it. So you have to notch it here and notch here so you can put some pressure on it in different spots. A lot of these little pecker stones, they call them pecking stones. I learned a lot of this stuff from Brent Quain and Paleo Mountain Man here in Vermont. I mean, these are all Vermont stones that you could see they were using to just tap, 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 knock things off. What they were making, I'll show you in a little bit. Another little grooved piece, I'm not sure, but it has like a interesting little chisel end here and here. So I'm not really sure. This one's another little interesting shape. It's got kind of a chopper end here and, you know, a different, maybe a handle end here. Could have been stuck on something and wrapped. Used as a chopper. Another little pecking stone here that kind of has been notched out. And that fits right in your hand. There's a lot of those. That's a bigger one. There's all these different marks on this end. This one's kind of a cool one. It's got like jasper stuff on it. But this end here was used to make little markings. This was a red stone they used, like a granite. So and this one's interesting. It has like a shelf on it. So they could have really grabbed it like a hammerstone. I've got some bigger hammerstones, but before I do that, I want to show some of my cool ones found in the same hole. So this here, I'll clean it up, is kind of a greenish stone. I don't know if you can see it, but you see the face in it and like the wing? Almost looks like a penguin. I mean, when was penguins in Vermont? I mean, that's crazy, but that's a nice stone. They definitely sanded it down really well on all the corners. And I found this one too that is, I mean, I don't know if this is a story rock, but it still has, I washed it off and it has like red paint still on it. And you can see all the scratch marks they did on the shell of it, but it looks like a snapping turtle. And you can definitely see they used that groove to straighten their arrows as well. But this is almost like a story rock because you can flip it and you can see all these different things coming out of it. It's hard to see in this light, but that almost looks like another turtle here. He's spinning around with a shell with like another turtle on it. They made all these different markings in it. I mean, this is limestone and it does that. Anyway, but you could see they had paint on it at one time, and there's a face of some turtle here. But that's not the only turtle I found. I also found this guy. It's like a box turtle. You see they pecked the shell around and had left the head here, and they chiseled that around to make it look like a nice little box turtle here with a little tail coming out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And this is another little bird stone here. So this, you could see, kind of see like the wings that been pecked. The wing has been pecked into that side. The tail over here. You can flip it around and you can see more designs in the other side where they pecked away at the face and the wings. Kind of cool. Here's another bird effigy. This is out of quartzite. So you see the feet here, tail here, and the wing here. And they worked on these things. They were doing that around here in this one hole. And here's one really positive. It looks like an otter. You know, it probably was used as a tool as well to scrape their bark off. But boy, doesn't it look like an otter. And that makes sense right here because I am real close to the Otter Creek. This one here could either be a turtle. You can see as you come in the shape of it, but I think maybe it's a bird as well. Could be like a grouse or a pheasant. You can see the wing here coming along. You can see the face here, but you know this is could also been a sanding tool. They could have been sanding with that easily. Also could have been a club, but you know they also put designs on it. Like in this side could have been a quail or a rabbit. Looks like you can see like a ear there. Interesting. And then we'll get into. Oh, I got a couple more effigies I really got to show. So this one's very much a smaller version of that. So you can see the shape of it. Very similar. But it's like a little pocket piece. Here's some hammer stones. Pieces that fit in your hand really good. And they're made out of really hard quartzite granite. This one here is a hammer stone, but I also think it was used to sand with. You can see this side is really smooth. They could have sanded with it like this. Sanded down some of their pieces. This one, the same thing. You can see this end was used, and they notched this end off, so they could also get their hands up in under there. Really grind with it. This one was cool. I found this out of limestone. It looks almost like a boat, but they shaped this right down, notched it all out, and for a sander, it fits right in your palm. Perfect. It's like a little palm sander, like you're into woodworking or something. That palm sander, they could have used it to grind stuff or whatever, but it was so smooth on the bottom, and it actually has tiny little veins of some kind of quartz in there. Now, someone needs to explain this to me, because this thing's like a hammer, and it's been notched on purpose here and here. But this thing, look at the size of it. It's huge. It's crazy huge. So yeah, I found all of this in the same hole. This one was a nice one too. It's made out of like a schist or something. And it's really hard, but they were using it to sand, grind stuff down. And I'll show you the face. Okay, I may be crazy. Paleo man, you gotta tell me whether I'm crazy or not. But there's like a face right in here. Looks like they got a beard and a pointy head. Now, you see that, and you see it again. And I also have a really big stone that has a hooked X on it too. That has the face just like this. I'll show in another video. But yeah, that's all stuff that came out of that hole. And that was a big cache of stuff. Some may have been used, some may have been wanting to be used. Oh yeah, here's another chopper. See, it was pointed here. It was all designed. This is another axe head. Big one. Big chopper here. It was all sanded down, and you can see some of the marks. That got dinged, but that's what it would have looked like. That's the color of the stuff it would have been. How old this is, I don't know, but does the penguin date it? Maybe. please, someone leave a remark and let me know. This is really cool, though. Thank you for visiting my channel, and if you like it, please hit that like mark button.